I planted bamboo that overrun my neighbor's property over a security light. About 4 years ago, I lived in a quiet HOA community tucked into a small Texas town. My property backed up to open hayfields, and the only neighbor I had to deal with was the guy behind my backyard fence. It was peaceful. 2-acre lots, hardly any traffic, and at night, the sky was pitch black and full of stars. It was perfect for sitting on the patio watching constellations or just letting the silence do its thing. Then he installed the floodlight, an absurdly bright, motionless LED spotlight aimed directly at my back patio, and worse, my bedroom windows. It was like someone parked a car in my yard with the brights locked on. At first, I tried to ignore it. I added blackout curtains in the bedroom and turned my patio chairs away from the glare, but nothing really helped. Sitting outside at night became a full-on interrogation session. I reached out to the HOA. Maybe I could raise my privacy fence a few feet, just enough to block the light. They said no, 8 feet was the max, and apparently there were no regulations about light pollution in the bylaws. Sorry, they said, nothing we can do. So I did the neighborly thing. I walked over, knocked on the guy's door, and politely explained the issue. Even offered him a $20 bill for a case of beer and said I'd buy him a motion-activated light if he was willing to re-angle it. He was friendly enough, nodded, said he'd look into it, promised to tilt it downward. A month passed. Nothing changed. I followed up. This time he shrugged and told me he'd changed his mind. Said he liked it the way it was and wasn't going to do anything about it. That was the end of the conversation. Well, almost. After that, I stopped trying to be nice. I dug into research. Looked into every city ordinance, HOA guideline, and property law I could find. Eventually, I landed on something perfect. Golden bamboo. Grows like wildfire in Texas, shoots up over 20 feet tall, and spreads like gossip at a family reunion. Completely legal. No HOA rules against planting it. No city laws prohibiting it. And best of all, if it happened to spread onto his side of the fence, he'd be legally allowed to cut what crossed the line. But that was it. No suing, no complaints that would hold water. I went all in, dug a trench along the fence, planted an entire row of bamboo, and even installed a root barrier on my side so it wouldn't overrun my own yard. No barrier for him, though. That was intentional. Within 6 months, the bamboo had grown thick and tall enough to block out his house entirely. The harsh white floodlight replaced with a calming wall of rustling green stalks. It was like my backyard was its own private jungle. About a year in, the neighbor started to get the picture. First, it was a letter, a handwritten complaint about the bamboo creeping into his yard. Straight into the trash it went, then a second letter, then a knock at my door. I looked through the peephole, saw him standing there, arms crossed, but didn't open it. Just turned around and went back to whatever I was doing. I ended up moving out 2 years after planting the bamboo. Got a great career opportunity out of state and sold the house. But I never forgot about that light, or the way he smirked when he told me he wasn't going to change it. Out of curiosity, I checked the address on Google Earth the other day. His entire backyard is bamboo now. Not just a little cluster by the fence. No, it's a full-on bamboo invasion. Every inch of his side is covered, like nature itself decided to throw shade right back at him. I can only imagine how many times he's tried to cut it back, only for it to shoot up again, stronger, thicker, greener. He said he'd do what he wanted in his yard, so I did too.